Hello everybody. Day 96, 100% raw here at the Academy of Natural Living. And time for an update. When I was sharing about the healing of my digestive tract, one of the things that really prompted me to go raw and I was looking for, a path of healing was the fact that, or the final straw was that I passed blood in my stools, and this is something I forgot to mention. So, when I went to the toilet, there was blood in my stools, and that happened twice, and I thought, this is serious. I better start looking at a way to heal. So I never went and got diagnosed because I don't trust diagnoses and I don't want to be poked and prodded, but blood in your stools is a pretty sure enough sign. I mean, that could be cancer. And so that's when I decided that I was going to investigate raw food natural healing. So the healing of my digestive tract is progressing. It's a slow process, and that's because you have to cultivate energy at the same time as getting good quality ingredients. I'm going to share more about that in a second. But the dull pain, which is in my descending colon every now and then, it used to be this dull, and it would balloon out in the descending colon section, balloon out and just disappear. But about 9 days ago, it was a throb, continual throb, and it was there from the morning until about midday, until after I had my first fruit meal. And then it disappeared, it went away. I asked John if I should fast, but he said no, because the pain wasn't acute, it wasn't debilitating, and it wasn't. I was still working. It was just continual throb. So there's a progression there. Also too, there wasn't an absence of hunger. I was definitely quite hungry, so I ate. But 9 days later, and this was Tuesday just gone, I became very enervated. So enervated means fatigued, but it's basically like a state of fatigue of the cells. And I could barely do anything. I could barely move. I did try and do some work, but I ended up just collapsing. I just had to lie on the ground, and I basically just lay down. Now, some might say, well, you weren't eating enough, but even after my fruit meal, it didn't make one iota of a difference. I ate the fruit meal as normal because I still had hunger, and it's hunger in the throat, true hunger, but there was no stimulation from the meal at all. And one thing that food does is that it stimulates us. One of the reasons why we reach for it continuously instead of allowing the body to heal is to get the stimulation. When in actual fact what's happening is the energy is being directed internally, and it's doing restructuring, cleansing, detoxing, rebuilding. So the food made no difference, and I had to go and basically sleep, and I slept basically for the rest of the day. I had extreme lassitude and the night, and rested the next day as well. But there was no pain associated with it. Yeah, now what I really wanted to share in this video was, some people have said, wow, you're losing all this weight and, you're looking thin and a bit drawn and all this type of stuff. Some people have said I'm looking great, but other people are saying, compared to my earlier videos, like when I was doing videos on some of my herbs back in Driscoll Drive, that, I'm looking very thin and drawn and all that type of stuff. And it's true, I am. But what you're witnessing is the death of the false body. So the false body is a body that has been built up with processed foods and cooked foods, foods that are devitalized and denatured. And the body builds itself, the organism, the life force within you builds the body as best it can using that material. And on the outside, you might look really good, nice and plump, according to conventional theories about what a healthy body should look like. But that body's prone to disease, and I know because I was living in it. It's prone to body odor, it's prone to bleeding gums, sensitive teeth, smelly stools, skin problems. It's excessive, sebaceous secretions. I used to get like excessive sebaceous secretions in my ears, so my ears would flake with sebum. That's all cleared up now. It's gone. And that's all because of the fact that the body is overloaded and it's getting toxic. And that's what a conventional diet does. So when you go from a conventional diet to a raw food diet, 100% raw food diet, and you allow the body to heal and clean out, the false body starts to die, and literally, so the false body diminishes. And what you have left underneath is the true body. And the true body then starts to emerge. But the true body, because that's the part of you that is being nourished with everything of the highest order and the highest energetic value, anything you've ever eaten like that, that's what remains underneath. The body has used that. That's the substrate. And it's the highest quality. So the outer quality, the lower quality, is removed because it's no longer supported, and it just is dissolved and removed from the body. And what's left is the true body. Now the true body, if you don't eat a lot of high quality food, which is 100% raw, the food with the highest energy potential, energy direct from the sun, light energy. Now, true body, under most people, is emaciated because it's not nourished very much. People don't eat very much true food, real food. And if you don't eat much true food or real food, then your true body, underneath the false body, is going to be quite weak and emaciated. So there you go. And then you have to start rebuilding the true body. This is not going to happen in days. It's not going to happen in weeks. It's not going to happen in months. It's going to happen in years. But that body is going to be strong. It's going to be vital. It's going to be resistant to disease. It's going to be resistant to infection. Sure, eventually our vital reserves are going to get lower as we get older. And if we haven't treated ourselves well, then we're going to start to become susceptible to those things. But there's ways of managing those things naturally, and there's also ways of managing yourself until you get to those points. So, it behoves us all, and if you want to get on the path of regeneration, to start. Eat true foods, eat real foods. Those foods are imbued with light energy, solar power from the sun. When you eat those foods, you literally take in solar power, solar energy. You take it into your cells. Your cells become revitalized, they become reborn, renewed. All that stuff which is old, diseased, decrepit, devitalized, that doesn't have any energy, according to the law of entropy, well, that energy is gone. That material is going to be removed from the body, and you're going to build it with much, much better stuff, much stronger stuff, much more vital stuff. And your strength, your inner power, your inner light, your intelligence, your wisdom will all grow as you align yourself with the laws and forces of nature and with nature herself. So, what are you waiting for? The light within you will increase. And they've done studies, and they've seen and shown that raw foods release more biophotons, that's light energy, than cooked foods. Processed foods release even less. And even organic and biodynamic foods, the better the growing principles are on those foods, the more light they release as well. And you can find those studies if you look for them. So there's food for thought. So build your true body. Let the false body go. Just let it die. However, you've got to do it wisely. So don't just think to hell with it. I'm going to let the false body die and let the true body emerge. And because some people can run into complications if you don't do it judiciously or wisely. Because if their true body is really, really sick and really, really weak and really, really emaciated because it hasn't been fed, they've been taking lots of drugs, they've devitalized themselves, then you could run into problems. So it's good to start, but find out what the best way to start and take the journey. And remember, it's a journey. It's important to make friends with time. And I'll leave you with a quote by Herbert Shelton. He said, "Time is not the cause of aging any more than time is the cause of erosion on a stone." The great Herbert Shelton, a natural hygienist. Thank you. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.